Hey guys, what's up? I've got a Göring on the board in a 10-minute rapid. This is under my main account. Okay, so let me just mute that. So they've accepted 2 pawns and now they've played h6. So I thought we'd do a little do this together. So there's a couple of options here. One is proceed with the plan A, which is the barrage. Queen first is not playable because of Queen e7 defends that. The downside for black of playing pawn to h6 is he doesn't have knight to h6, which is sometimes a resource to defend f7. Now, I know that in some cases I'm thinking it's if f6 or h6, it's kind of slow, it gives us time to castle quickly, and I think that's the way to go about it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to castle now. Then the plan of this, I want to give another principle in this opening is if black is reticent to keep gobbling pawns, we want him to take the full lot. We really do, because we score much higher when we've got a bishop on here, gunning down there. See, one of the issues is that our bishop here targeting g7 prevents their king's bishop from coming out, because it's got to guard that. Because at the start of the game, notice that the f pawn is only guarded by the king, and the g pawn is only guarded by the bishop. It's the same on this side of the board as well, right? And the bishop's on that side. So we have this. I think I can proceed with this because I'm simply not scared of pawn takes. Pawn takes, bishop takes. There's no pin anymore, so this doesn't come with a discovered check, so it's like hardly scary monsters. So I've got this. Then also potentially pressuring the bishop, and sometimes we can find that knight gets pressured as well. If here any pushes, I can just flip the knight out, I think. I mean, I've got the option to take with the queen. So already here I'm out of my prep, but I'm relying on the principles that I've covered in the course. Opponent is rated 1485. Lay siege to his castle. And of course on the next move I always have BC with tempo pushing the bishop away. But my immediate threat actually is this. Just taking that, forcing the king then to move. Okay, so now we have the queen here. When the queen comes on either of these squares, you just slam your knight in there. And if he wants to trade off his perfectly good bishop for my perfectly good knight, he can do. And he really probably should, because after this, I'm hitting the queen. I'm hitting the c-pawn as well, and now he can defend that by moving the queen. But I'm also, from there, hitting the bishop a second time. So he's got to take. We take back. Thinking the next move might be e5. If knight takes, queen takes. That does not work because... Okay, so maybe it's bishop a3 here. Because this pawn's currently stuck behind that bishop. Bishop a3 stops him from castling, which is quite good. Okay. Yeah, I'm just having that. I'm going to have that, get his queen on the e-file, and then bishop a3. Bishop a3 makes sense. Now he could just answer with this, but then we've got that. But I want to get the bishop off the back rank to connect my rooks. That then allows me to play something like f4, backed up by the rook, and if he blunders and takes there, his queen's gone. He's lost the big fat exchange, he has to trade his queen for a rook. And where's the rest of his bits? In his pants, still. Oh, also, this... Shit, bugger. Tits. Pardon my French, I forgot. This was on, he's just undefended this stupid pawn, hasn't he? So actually what I did here was a deflection, deflecting its queen away from there, but I didn't realise I was doing it. So there you go. Human error. There's no perfect opening, which is why I can't show you an opening that's going to win you, 100% of your games, because when white plays the Göring, he's always got the option to be a dumbass, as I have shown on several occasions. But a 60-70% win rate is pretty damn good. Okay, my hunch here is to launch with Freddy the F-pawn. So I can't see any benefit to this. I'm not going to start giving up pieces here, but I think this looks like deadly. And then e6 takes. That makes sense. He's got. Oh, hello. Oh, hello there. I could have wiped that out. I'm gonna wipe it out. Make his king move. Now who's laying siege to whom? Hey? Right, I think white's better. I'm a pawn down here. But very often in a lot of these lines, you'll find, as I go through on the course, I'll say white's 2 pawns down, but +3. It's like, how does that make sense? But even Stockfish is forced to concede that this opening is just damn good. Okay, option 1, f5 looks really nice. Yeah, I mean, it's bullying the queen, and the queen's a bit short of squares. But she might come over here. In fact, no, hang on. She's got to protect this, because I've got bishop takes, right? So I think she's going to go there. No, I've got 5 minutes left on the clock. Oh, you missed that. Missed it. Anyway. Cock. Right. Oh, that's annoying. It came with check. Ah! Right, so my pawn down. Let's evaluate. Got nearly 5 minutes. This pawn's defended on a2 by the bishop. That's not a biggie. His king is actually quite active, which at this point in the game, with only 3 pieces left each, actually favours black. I've got 2 isolated pawns, him and him. Black actually has 2 pawn islands to my 3. So I think this is actually something that you have to... There takes. I think is still good. He's got to take, because it's check. If he retreats, I'm probably just going to snatch there and also pressure it. Oh, also, yeah. Actually, if he takes, can I just take with a rook? Right, this comes with checkity-doodah, but this comes with 2 attackers on here. How does he defend it a second time? Well, he's got rook here, but that undefends this. Okay, so if I take with the rook, he can't defend it a second time there. He's got to defend it a second time here. And then if I do that, what does he do? He goes back to there or there. So there, boom, there. He's got to stay on these 2 squares, hasn't he? And I don't think I can bully him off. But I can stick another rook behind that rook. And he can't summon up any more defenders. I think is the solution. Again, we're talking activity. 1, 2, 3. Pieces that have not moved. Un, deux, trois. Uno, due, tre. For those of us in different languages. 1, 2, 3. Achat, shtaim, shalosh. Don't know what waqt in Arabic, isn't it? Number 1. I don't know what 2 and 3 is, I'm afraid. Don't know the Greek. What are the languages? I'll count to 3. I don't know. Okay, so I think he's pretty much got to do that. But then after rook a f1, as opposed to rook ff1 or rook 6 f1. Okay, explain. I have this with checkity doodah anyway, and then it's no, no, no. I take that with check. King goes back here. This is forced. This is known. And then I simply drop the bishop back here. My rook is defended, and dance is off. So why can't I take the pawn? I go back here, the rook's still defended, and at my leisure I'll probably still double up the rooks. Probably will. I think he's going to go here. Yeah. So now I just drop the bishop back. It defends this pawn. It's not even under attack. I'll play this rook to f1. We're equal in material. That rook takes, bishop takes rook, you can't take my rook. That pawn takes, I take here and threaten the bishop. I think I'm okay. He can't take the rook because it's now defended by the pawn. Yes, the bishop's defense of the rook is interrupted, but it's now defended by the pawn. If he takes his pawn, I take his rook, and my rook is still defended. So he takes a pawn, I take a rook, he takes a bishop, and then I snatch here. Anyway, and he's left with doubled and isolated pawns, which is a lot worse than this cluster that he's got going on now. I'm starting to enjoy a bit more calculation. I'm still old and lazy. There's no getting away from those facts of life. But I'm starting to enjoy looking 3 moves deep rather than 1.5, you know. Sometimes. And that's where the key is to improvement. It's not that I don't know any of the chess principles. I know quite a bit now. There's still a lot more to learn, of course. It's never ending. You've never got a complete grasp of chess principles. But he's in a somewhat of a pickle, you know. Pawn takes pawn is the most obvious. But pawn takes pawn, then his pawns are going to be this after I take that one. Right, so we'll both have 2 completely isolated pawns, but then his other pawns are doubled and isolated, and mine are side by side, and side by side is far better than stacked when it comes to having to defend them in an endgame. Now, stacked pawns can sometimes be quite strong defensively, right? Sometimes. Oh, hello. Hello. Gosh. Now, this pawn. Can I... push it. Push it. Good. If I take it and bishop takes, rook d1, I'm attacking the bishop, which is kind of pinned. There's no checks. If I push it... No, if I push it, he can take with a rook. Takes, he's attacked twice. So I think we take here. I'm not going to think too much. I've got 1.5 minutes. He's got 3 minutes. Right there, and I think I whack in this one. Yeah? threatening just to take the bishop because it's only defended the once. Now, how does he defend? He hasn't got that because pawn takes. He hasn't got that because rook takes. Right? His rooks are very much disconnected and cannot work as a team. My rook's actually teaming up because they're on more open lines. So this guy has never moved in the game. That's his problem right now. I think that's his biggest hobble, his biggest liability. Now, I think he goes here, though. He goes here or here and defends. Now, I go then here and attack this one. And then he's got another problem. But we're going to have to blitz this out, aren't we, a little bit? Or even... Oh, hello. Gosh. Hang on. There? No, king can take either rook. Okay, that doesn't work. There, king takes, I attack. I'm just going to live to fight another day. I'm not going to think too much. He's on 2 minutes 16. I need to burn his clock, man. Also, notice my bishop is somewhat evil. You know, if he accidentally puts a piece on one of these squares, could find himself in hot water. I've got this move. Now double defended, right? That just forces the king off, and he's going to go like to one of these squares. This pawn, I mean, this pawn's kind of a target, but I can't really get to it. I'm just going to have to grind him down. I'm going to have to flag him. This is a Operation Dirty Flag. The Black Flag. Is there a game or something called Assassin's Creed, was it? Black Flag? Pirate one? He can block. I'll just dance back. I'm just being a git here. I'm being a see you next Tuesday. That's all I'm doing here. That's not even... I'm not giving up a rook for a bishop and a pawn. It's not even a great bishop anyway. I think I might just push g3 at some point. 109, 10... Oh, we are equal on the clock. I am now slightly up on the clock. This... Right, we're inside a minute. That is a check. Could I come here? I quite like that. But then the bishop was defending this pawn. Maybe it still should. Maybe it still should. Okay. Now I can force a rook off the board. Bollocks. Okay, thankfully he can't take, you know, my rooks are defended by each other and my bishop is defended by the pawn. So he's got a repetition if he wants it. Which is probably a fair outcome, to be honest. I kind of failed to put it away when I could. But, you know, reasonable game. Lost a point there. Let's have a look. I'm not playing a rematch, sorry about that. 1500, 1550. So we were playing, you know, both played, well, I played slightly worse, he played slightly better. Okay, and you can see I had a really good advantage here. And here I actually blew it completely, but he failed to capitalise. So we both missed an open goal in that game. Okay, so let's go through this. After this, it's saying... Yeah, it's saying go for the barrage. I might have misremembered the theory there on that one. Let's pull it up then. Let's put up Göring Gambit double h6, or is it? Okay, so double h6 actually one of the most common, right? So here you get access to these, so you'll automatically see them in preview mode. Okay, so you do it like this, and it'll make you play it through. We play the bishop out, and then they play h6. h6 seems too slow and nervous, but it turns out to be hard to punish. Yeah, in the fully accepted variation, the engine slightly prefers castles. Okay, right. So it's fully accepted h6 and f6 is castles. But in this one, queen b3, because he doesn't have that. Okay. Yeah, so we set up, that's what we should have done. Should have just set up the battery. Okay. And, it's fine not to remember stuff and go back, check your notes, whatever. But let's go to the point. Okay, so this was poor. Wow, that's interesting. Could have literally won the pawn with that. And if the bishop tries to defend, it's b4. Bishop goes there and we literally win the pawn, right? Oh, the computer's saying not even, just threaten that. Oh, that's really interesting. Good to know. Okay, we didn't do that. He has to defend f7. And there's usually only 2 squares. So I think we go for that, and the computer says e5. Slightly better. Yeah, so I gave up my knight there, and that's a blunder. Queen e5. And then this is my missed opportunity. Yeah. We accidentally deflected the queen away from f7, and I blew it. I was looking at the wrong area of the board, but there we go. But it's still 4.5 here. And that wasn't the best. Literally just lifting the queen and threatening to come in with mate. Actually, not there. There. And that's mate. So if we had gone up here, it's +5. Yeah. Do you know what? In a 5-minute blitz game, I'd have probably thought about that. But when I'm talking it through and trying to teach it as well, yeah, different one. Anyway, lots of fun. Yeah, just a little bit more Göring. I'm going to keep the Göring coming because I'm loving it. You get it quite a lot. Not so much I've found at the real beginner level. The people don't like to accept the Scotch for some reason. But definitely getting it more now. But yeah, if you're happy to keep seeing examples of these Göring Gambit games, let me know. If you're getting bored of them, go and watch something else. See you later.